often means we want to change something about ourselves. So if you're looking to break some bad habits, where do you start? Psychotherapist Shane Warren joins us now with the 5 steps to breaking a habit. Good morning to you. Now, why do we develop bad habits?
Look, we develop habits to survive. Like, everything we do is a habit. Brushing your teeth is a habit. Some of them are just good habits and some of them have challenging components to them. So it's about defining that. You know, what's a bad habit and what do you want to get rid of it?
Now, you've got 5 steps to breaking a bad habit. What are they?
Well, look, there's a couple of things you can do. First of all, I'd say to you, you need to actually look at, you know, what's the opportunity cost? How important is it to break the habit? That's what we're talking about there. So, you know, I mean, really, do we get some enjoyment from it? And if we get great enjoyment, does that really hurt anyone? Well, then what's the point? You know, whereas define, if you want to get rid of it, what we want to do, okay? So define the cost and which cost is greater, keeping or getting rid of.
Well, what about when it comes to donuts?
And is that a bad habit, enjoying donuts? You know,
Could be.
you know, look, what we find with habits really is, I said, everything's a habit. So you've kind of got a cue and a reward, and what we actually have is a pathway. So if you want to break a habit like eating donuts, you want to change it to eating celery and carrots.
Well, how do I change the mindset?
Okay, let's define what the reward is, what the real reward
All right.
is. Okay?
What is the reward if I
Look,
give
you know,
up
for me,
donuts, which I don't eat, by
I
the
love
way.
donuts too.
I
love
don't
donuts.
eat them.
Oh, well, lucky
But
you.
I just thought I'd try it. For the sake of the discussion.
No, look, you know, for a classic example, great, donuts is one, coffee is another one. What I really like about a donut, or what I really like about a cup of coffee, is it comes at a time of the reward being just relaxation, social engagement, that kind of stuff. Do I really need the actual donut? Well, that's the kind of process. My reward is the social engagement, the fun, the calm that it brings me. So let's change the pattern and the path. Now, look, a celery stick and a carrot don't taste the same, so we've got to kind of work through those processes. And we say work in threes. Work in threes, and if you work in threes, meaning go out. Here's someone who doesn't eat donuts, but you know.
I think I'd rather have the donut.
But why we say work in threes, I'd say, look, you know, if you're going out, go out and say, look, okay, I'm not going to have coffee today, I'm going to have peppermint tea. You know, I'm not going to have a donut, I'm actually going to eat sort of, you know, the healthy option they provide at the cafe. Do it 3 or 4 times with your mates, and what you start doing is you're beginning to create a new pathway of habit breaking, okay? So they're creating a new habit. So I can still go out and enjoy my social engagement. Now, look, I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to be horrible, it's going to be tough the first 3 times. But we do it 3 times, and you've done it, well done, reward yourself, I've done it, do it another 3 times, and another 3 times. And by the time you get to time 6 or 9, you've created a new neuro pathway. You've created a new habit.
So it's about getting creative, really. So swapping one for another.
That's it. You know, but do small stuff too.
So if I want to stop biting my nails,
Yep.
then I could just swap it for like an ice habit.
You could if you really wanted to. Yeah. You know, I would just encourage that particular choice.
We'd rather you have celery.
Look, honestly, one of the things we find with nail biting.
So much better than ice.
But what do we find with nail biting truly is, you know, you've got actually an oral sensation going there. And look, you know, it's the reason why a child has a pacifier. You know, look, you know, the secret is I used to suck the tip of my finger right up till I was about 30, 35. And one of the things about that is because what I do is I'm putting pressure on the roof of my mouth, which causes me to calm. So often nail biters do it at times when they're thinking, times of stress or anxiety, that kind of stuff. So you're creating this natural pattern that I would, if you were a baby, I'd say suck on your dummy, baby, that kind of stuff, you know? So what I'd say to you is exactly right. Find another kind of thing that pushes the pressure on the roof of your mouth that helps you feel calm and relaxed.
Okay, so we're doing all that, but you say you need to have a success plan.
Yes.
How do you define success? I mean, what are you doing to create a success plan?
What we're saying with success plans is exactly that kind of, well, what's the pathway? So I've got to think about this. I want to break the habit of biting my nails. I want to stop eating so many donuts, okay? So I need to actually plan that, you know? I know I'm going out now. I'm going out with my friends where I normally would have a cup of coffee and some donuts. Okay, today I'm going to actually have some peppermint tea and an apple, you know, just to sort of be extreme.
So you pre-prepare yourself.
Pre-plan for it, that's the thing. And when I've done it 3 times, I'm going to say, well done, Shane, I'm going to celebrate that. Now, I may celebrate it with a donut, but I wouldn't encourage that because there's a lot of chemical biofacts to go with it as well. But yeah, think about another little celebration. Like, good on you, mate, you've achieved that one, okay?
Go have the facial.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
You know, a bit of self-indulgence is very important in life, and so reward ourselves.
So how did you stop the habit of sucking the top of your thumb?
Yeah, I made the decision, I've got to do this, and I, you know, clued into the fact being, because look, when I'm doing this, my tongue is pushing to the roof of my mouth. So I needed to create that. So I actually took on sucking just, you know, Mentos, peppermint, they hard release for a little while. Yeah. And then I had another habit to break, I must admit, because the sugar's not that good for me. But I went into that one for a little while. So I just went with that.
You've got to start with small changes, is that right?
That's exactly it.
You've got to have willpower, though, don't you?
You've got to
start it off.
well, that's the sex plan. You just make, not even willpower. It's about saying, you know what? It's time to change this. You know? And I set a goal for myself that actually, you know, I was 30 and I thought, you know what? it's a bit sort of sick, isn't it, sucking your thumb at 30, that kind of stuff. So I said, you know, I've now got to grow up. That was kind of a bit of the, you know, the self-talk mindset I had with myself. And then I thought, okay, so really by the time I'm 35, I want to have this habit no longer in my life, you know? And so what it was, I had to identify the pattern, I had to identify the reason. And the reason was, it was my zone out. I went into, it was when I was actually trying to, you know, write a thesis or do those kind of things. I was zoned out and I'd be...
Is it hard to write a thesis with just one hand?
Not really, no. Actually, yeah, it's amazing how you can do it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You've got very creative.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us. Much appreciated.